There we go. And now refocus. There we go. Hey guys, how's it going? Where are we at? Last night, Friday, was a special night, as you saw by the pic. Those that know. Last night was the celebration slash benefit slash whatever else they were calling it for Mr. Mark, who did unfortunately pass in a really tragic accident. We won't get into that because we've covered that enough.
And it'll just make us mad again.
And it'll just make us mad again. We don't want that. But yeah, last night was the benefit slash celebration of life at Club Underground. And yeah. General, yeah.
It was really good. I mean, it was about the best kind of memorial party thing you could ever have. Like we threw a, we didn't, but there was a heck of a party.
There was a heck of a party.
Mark, so,
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And even his brother Greg was saying afterwards, just the outpouring that night, and just everything online, all the stories that were shared, all photos and videos that were shared, and just the outpouring of love for this man was just overwhelming. And now I feel bad that I didn't get to know him better, because I only talked to him once, and kind of saw him at shows and didn't really interact with him. And now I kind of feel bad that I didn't, because he seemed like an absolutely incredible guy that everybody loved.
Yeah. I think I only talked to him just a couple of times, but yeah, it's just kind of like that was a lost opportunity. I felt bad that I didn't get to talk to him more, but it's interesting, hearing from everyone else, their stories and their experiences, and it's just, and like his brother had said, that these pictures that he didn't even know existed,
or that he hadn't seen in 40 years, and it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But
so we're at Club Underground.
Club Underground, which is underneath the Spring Street Tavern over in Northeast Minneapolis, which is, I've always liked going there. I never liked playing there, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, seeing a show there is kind of awesome. It's a good size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It doesn't feel, even though there's a low ceiling, it doesn't feel
it's not
claustrophobic at all.
Yeah, it's more cozy.
It's very cozy. It's dark until the very end of the night when they turn the lights, and you're like, but it's always a pretty good vibe there. I've never really had a bad experience there. So
it's kind of it's like one of my favorite, if not my favorite, place to see music now. I mean, it's a nice little place.
Yeah. Okay, so
we got to see
the lineup for this show was pretty freaking good. Ironically, because there were 5 bands in the bill, 3 of them, this was our second time seeing them, and last time we saw them, they were all on the same bill, which was kind of unusual. And that was that show in Buffalo, including the first band, which was Defiled Sacrament. So, what did we think?
I like them. Like, I'm just like totally in to that band and just all of it, and the music, and just like the singer, and he wraps everything up into his performance, and just the vocals from low to high, and the howling, and this, that, and growl, and the like emotions that he puts in there, little theatrics, and and they're all great musicians.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the sound a lot better. We said, like, in the club environment, it's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot more cohesive, and that goes for all three bands that we first saw in Buffalo, in the outside kind of concrete amphitheater.
Sturgis Park Amphitheater.
Yeah, right on Buffalo Lake.
Yep.
Which I'm sure like midsummer, that would be an awesome venue to see music at.
Yeah, they do Thursdays, like Thursdays in the park. In the summer, they'll have different bands come out and do music. Sometimes I think they'll do like shows, like different kind of acts. But yeah, they do that, and it's always packed. And usually I'm working later till like 8 or so on a Thursday night, so I don't get to go to them very often. But it is a very nice little venue.
Yeah, as we said in that video, it's an impressive little venue, but that particular October Saturday, which was the only really cold weekend in October. Unfortunately, and that's the weekend that Dan had this show booked. And but that being said, it was cold. It was the PA was kind of on the fritz all day. I'm sure some of it had to do with the cold wind coming off the lake that was affecting things. And but to see these three bands in an actual club environment really brought out the best of all three of them, I think.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, and then like we were talking, and he had said for Defiled how they're kind of all like pieces of metal put together, and it's true, because for a while they were kind of sounding a little doomy, and then they're a little faster, and it's just like it's so good. I'm really just loving this band. So they're like one of my favorite newer bands that I've been exposed to now. So, but yeah,
and shout out to their drummer. I don't know who their drummer is, but he is impressive. He's got some chops. Very, very quick feet, which I did notice. I noticed more last night than I did at the Buffalo show. Very, very quick feet, and a lot of and maybe this is my ignorance in the more extreme metals that I haven't really dabbled in all that much, but a good variety of styles and techniques that he was using in his playing, which I always appreciate. So
yeah, we're kind of doing. I did some pre video notes because it's hard sometimes to go back and think
and remember,
and remember things. So I'm just kind of like, okay, let's think about this, and so
we're trying to be a little bit more professional as we can be.
Yeah.
Second up, anything else about Defiled?
Not that I could think of. Merch. Where merch? Give me merch, and I want actual CDs.
Physical CDs.
Just don't. Every band out there, I need it in my hands. Like, give me actual merch. Like, shirts and stuff are wonderful too, but I want to immerse in the music, and I do like to do that in my car a lot of times, which I'm old school, so CDs are awesome. Please, pretty please, sugar on top, spikes on top. I don't know. Yeah.
Goat's heads on top.
Spikes and leather. Yeah. Give me some, spikes, leather, and eyeliner. I mean, what gotta add?
Yeah.
But no, it just, oh my gosh. I literally think I was like, for a while watching.
You were very quiet for a long time.
That's saying something.
And that's saying something. And then I just saw you looking at the stage, kind of like, okay, she's like fully there. And again, it goes without saying that all five of these bands definitely worth checking out. Defiled, I think, I don't know if they have new music out. On their Bandcamp, they have an EP that they released a while ago, and then a newer album. So I don't know if they're working on stuff or whatever, but definitely check it out. And again, physical CDs, actual physical CDs.
And if you see this, let
us old school people.
What are you working on?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you working on anything, or I think, were they on tour also? I can't remember. I know Yotuma was on tour.
Yeah, Yotuma did a short tour.
Together, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they just wrapped up a short tour together.
So.
And speaking of Yotuma, they were up next. And they were another band that we just saw for the first time back in October. And for me, at that show, it was almost less what they played and more just talking to their singer beforehand. He was just so cool and just so nice. And I was just like, okay, even if her band sucks, I'm gonna like you anyway. And luckily, they didn't suck. They were very, very good.
And he was Orion too, wasn't
and he's
he?
Orion too.
And so he was Orion too.
But and our buddy Trent was there, and about halfway through their set, he was like, "This is my first time seeing these guys. They're so fucking tight." And I'm like, "Yeah." And even more so last night than when we saw them in October, because
they weren't freezing.
They weren't freezing. The acoustics were better. They could probably hear themselves better. And maybe they because they've been touring and doing shows, they're just tighter. But yeah, they brought it last night for sure.
Yeah, that was a good show. Like yes. And good set. great set, great band. The merch.
They actually had merch.
Cool. Like, yep.
So this is their first album, which and they're the dudes, which they were telling us at the other show. They basically, I think, recorded like in their basement, and they weren't very happy with the production and all that. And I'm like, I mean, to me, I've listened to, because I have a digital version of it, and it sounds fine to me. I mean, so I'm curious because I know they are working on a new album.
Okay.
So I'm curious what that's going to sound like. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. And we got
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool.
and then the arms, of course. You got the logo there.
Yeah.
And the logo there, and then little Y guy on front, so that's really cool. And then, so I got the CD and the sweatshirt, and they didn't have change. And instead of, he was going to try to give it back to me, or I don't know if he was going to give me change later or something. And I'm like, dude, just keep it. It's $10, just keep it. And he's like, you want a shirt? And I'm like, I mean, I guess. So yeah, they kind of gifted me that, but it's kind of like, keep the $10, get, gas or some tacos or something. I don't mind, overpaying any band for anything, because,
It's their baby.
Yeah.
Artistic.
It's their artistic baby, and if you're trying to do this as a living anymore, short rant about the record industry, since record sales pretty much don't exist anymore, unfortunately. Touring kind of pays depending on where you are. I mean, most of the money that bands make is from merch. Probably 60-70% of a band's income probably is from merch. So, which is why I try to buy merch from any band that I like. Like sometimes to excess. Like Cassie had just dropped a new shirt design. I saw it yesterday or on Thursday, and I saw that. I was like, God damn it! Fine. It's another Coven shirt, and it's pretty freaking
It's
cool.
just another one that I can borrow.
Yeah, just another one you can borrow, and they dropped some
hat beanies.
beanies too.
Beanies. There we go.
But we'll talk about that later. So yeah, as I always say, if you like a band and they have merch, go over there, buy something, talk to them. They're glad to talk to you. They're going to be happy to be there. So
Yeah. So that was
that was Utah.
And then we have Apothic.
Apothic.
If there was anywhere he wanted to be tonight, he's here right now. He might have taken a little dip over the Pantera and tried to check that out too, but we're not going to talk about that.
That's right, you were. No, don't be sorry. You're doing a good job.
I'm going to sing to the back of my hand.
He was like, look, I'm like, we're all good.
All right, this one goes out to Mark. Even though I know he wasn't going to be here, we all know that he's at rest right now, free from the world's problems. This one goes out to him specifically. This one's called Dark Sky Sanctuary.
which is Al Town's newish band. They've been around for a couple months now.
At
Maybe
least
6 months.
Yeah.
Relatively new. Relatively new. And this is our first chance seeing them. And yeah, more on the black metal side, which is not usually my cup of tea, but I've seen Al do other things, I'm sure, around, and I know he's a dynamite vocalist, and a very kind of looming presence on stage, and that was all proven. I mean,
Yeah, that was. Excuse me. Sinus infection. What? Oh yes, this was our forceful, awesome, powerful vocals.
yes,
Doing it right.
doing it right,
Yeah.
doing black metal right.
It's a punch in the face.
It's
Good
a
punch in the face.
It's a punch in the face that you want to get punched again, or something to that effect.
Yeah. So
So we're saying we liked it. It was
That's a
it was
good-
awesome.
that's a good
It was very
match.
very cool. And I'm finally glad that we got to finally see Apothic, and we will
Exactly.
definitely have to see them again and again and again and all that. So
yeah.
very very cool. Al, good job.
And
And the rest of the band who I
Yeah.
do not know, I don't think, except for their bass player, who is Neil Pruitt, who is also the bass player in Plague of Stars.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I believe, if I'm correct.
I mean, I know the name sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure that was him. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah. Coffin Rights.
Coffin Rights. Coffin Rights, they're a band I've been following for a while. I mean, I think since they were Coffin Rot, and had to change their name for reasons that I forget. But yeah, I mean, it's Will Marvellis, who I've been friends with for a while. Again, like everybody else in the scene, one of the nicest guy you'll ever want to meet. But you get him on stage, you get a guitar in his hand, get a mic in front of him, we can growl. Completely different animal.
Yeah.
And every time I've seen them, I've never seen a bad set from this band. Like they're always just on point. And their drummer, Mr. Tom Tier, is just freaking fantastic. I mean, all the drummers last night.
Oh yeah.
All the bands last night were great. All the drummers were great. But Tom Tier always stands out because he's just so precise and just so powerful and just yeah.
Yeah.
And if you haven't checked out Annihilation Process, his thrash band, definitely check them out. They just dropped an album not too long ago. It's freaking awesome.
And if they already didn't have my attention, I think a song in, 2 songs in, they say, and now the drummer's half naked. And I'm like, oh, half naked drummers. Oh. So, but, you couldn't say anything anyways because he's way back behind everybody else. So, but that's all right. But you did comment that you noticed they were missing a bass player.
Yes, they were bassless. And I'm sure somebody said something at some point, and I probably just missed it. Maybe they were just sick or something. But yeah, they did were without bass, but that didn't seem to deter them at all.
No, it was still really good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it was like 3 songs in when you were like, "Hey,
wait a minute!
something."
Isn't there 5 people in this band? I see 4 on stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you've seen Coffin Rights a couple times.
I believe I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was with you, because I haven't seen him without you.
Yeah, I mean, I know we saw them at least once at North Star. Maybe twice at North Star, actually.
Yeah.
And probably somewhere else too, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember them being so... I don't know how to say it. I said, rapid fire vocals. Like, just, like, kind of like... almost an assault in a way, in a good way, but yeah, just metal rapping. Is that such a thing? Kind of.
I'm sure.
In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Very. Yeah, I was impressed. It was good. I didn't. Yeah, they did have merch.
They did have merch.
But Mr. Merch Fairy.
I didn't buy any because I already had it all. And I neglected to see I mean, you have their CDs. I'm pretty sure you have both their CDs.
I think I have a shirt.
You have
at least one shirt.
At least one shirt. And then you have the cool hoodie too, which I don't think.
That's right.
Which I don't think they have anymore. So I'm kind of jealous that you got that, and I didn't have one of those, but that's okay.
I'll share it with you.
I know.
I'll share it. It's probably in my car.
I was gonna say I still have
your
your Skillet hoodie in my closet. So
okay.
Yep.
I don't know if that's a fair trade, really. This is the Coffin Rights for Skillet.
Skillet.
I like Skillet, but I think I can't say that. Okay, never mind. I'm a woman of great, broad musical taste.
Yes, yes, that is a good way to put it. Yeah, so Coffin Rights, always awesome.
And then we have Bludgeon.
Can't hear you. Hi. Give me a fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Give me a oh hell fuck yeah.
Oh hell fuck yeah.
Well, I think it goes without saying what I say. This whole sentence goes out to Mark. That song was called Silence All. Mark. Next song is called Sell It as Pride.
be bludgeoned.
You will be bludgeoned, and you will just stand there and take it because
You will like it.
and I guess you will like it.
I like it a little more than he does.
And again, nothing personal. Nothing personal.
Their taste.
It's just whatever that particular style of metal is.
Which let us know in the comments how you describe yourself, because
Yeah, I mean,
we always like knowing
it's death metal, obviously, but there are so many subcategories and subgenres and subgenres that I'm curious which one this kind of falls into. And again, the sound was much better than it was at the lake. It seemed like a tighter presentation. That being said, I did start to tune out probably halfway through their set, just because it all kind of melded together. Like there wasn't enough distinction in between the drumming and the bass player and the guitar playing and the vocals. It all just kind of seemed to meld together into one kind of thing.
Yeah.
That I didn't enjoy quite as much as you did. You had the opposite reaction.
Yeah, I was. I think seeing them the second time, and excuse me. Even though at the Sturgis Park thing, it was so cold that it was equipment issues and stuff, and but I will say, that show got me turned on to a few different bands, and gave different bands an opportunity, a little more exposure to people, more exposed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Exposure to more people. Yeah. Yeah.
And but yeah, so now seeing these bands a second time, like Bludgeon, when first time I saw them, I was just kind of like, it didn't quite, I wasn't really engrossed in them. This time along, because a little more intimate, you could see them a little bit better. They're I'm one that I like to see the twiddling, I like to see the mechanics of what's that sound made and whatever. And he did that. What's the name? Willie, I think, did the thing with the guitar, and he pulls it up and holds it by the whammy bar.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I got a little more into them, and I actually started to decipher things a little more, and so I'm like, okay, I need to dabble a little bit so I can recognize one song from another and this and that, and but yeah, it's just, yeah, it was better this time. I'm a little more into them now than I was before.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, but their skill, even if it's not necessarily your favorite style.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
phenomenal.
The skill all night was definitely there. There was not a flub really all night. All the bands were pretty on point.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then their drummer there, Wicked, you called him?
He was fairly wicked, yeah. He knows how to hit him. I'll give you that. Which is something I commented the first time we saw him. He's fun to watch. He's absolutely almost a joy to watch. Like he kind of brings out what is good about playing drums. Just that almost manic energy and just that
that energy just goes right through the club. Yeah, and I was like, how is he hitting so hard? How is his stuff still put together? I was just like, okay, something's gonna break at some point. Oh no, okay.
Nope, still going.
Does he need new drums after every set? It's just like, holy cow. Just the force is just phenomenal. Yeah, it was a very interesting performance. It was really, yeah, I like them a little more this time around. And then I have in here, it says merch, ? I don't know if they have shirts or whatever. You said you would seem to have a couple digital CDs, maybe.
Yeah, according to Bandcamp on my phone, I don't know if it's different on my phone or when I look at my computer because I'm not tech savvy like that. They did have a couple albums digitally, not physically.
Give me CDs.
But I mean, at shows, I mean, because they've been around for a while, I think. And I have seen shirts of theirs pop up at different shows. So there is shirts
Okay, so
somewhere.
there are shirts somewhere. All
And
right.
there's probably physical CDs somewhere.
So I just kind of got to do my research and find it.
Like next time we do a cheaper run, we should look for all these guys and see if they have discs at cheapo.
Okay, I'm putting it to my note, guys.
Because I know a lot of bands have their stuff there. And quick side note, I remember one time I was at Tipo and I was looking through the local section, didn't really see anything. But then I went to the metal section, and one of the first bands I saw was Hex Vortices. And the fact that their CDs were not in the local section, but in the metal section with all the big players, that warmed my heart a little bit. I was like, okay, that's my boys. They're in the right place.
They're moving on.
They're moving on up, man. So if you go to Cheapo or any of the local record store, look through the local section, but also look through like the metal section or rock section or pop section or whatever genre your band you're looking for might be, and they might be there, which is really awesome.
Yeah, that is a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
That's really
for
neat.
sure.
Yes. Where are we on?
Where are we at?
So venue a little more. Well, we loved this place.
Yeah.
And Josh actually had help this time. I don't know how many times I've actually seen the bartender have other people helping him, like behind the bar. And
Well, I mean, there
one
were
or
pretty
two.
much people at the bar pretty much all night.
Yeah.
Which is rare, because usually, I mean, again, this was a show that was much more well attended than pretty much any show I've seen there.
Yeah, there was quite a lot.
And usually it's like, everybody gets a drink and then goes watch the band. There's nobody at the bar, and maybe like one person hanging out or whatever. But there was pretty much people around the entire bar all night.
Yeah.
And then people lining up behind him. So, yeah, he actually had help. But we love Josh. He's awesome. He's just a good dude. Makes a mean margarita.
Best margarita anywhere except for, equal to my favorite margaritas at my favorite Mexican restaurants.
Easily.
So,
Yep.
And I'm a margarita snob, so yeah, you wouldn't think going on down to Club Underground and get yourself a good margarita, but
yeah,
yes.
of all the places that we've been to, it's like you really wouldn't expect, if you were to walk into Club Underground, especially if you've never been there, and be like, this place has the best margaritas in the city, maybe the state, outside of Mexican restaurants, like comparable.
Yeah.
You'd be like, really? Because you'd look at the questionable couch in the corner. You would look at the stage that's not a little raggedy, and you would just kind of look around and go, really? And then you'd have Josh make you one and be like, okay, fair.
Yeah, it's just, and he said he'd been gone for 2 weeks, so his bartender legs weren't quite under him. He thought, no, they're under you.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
sure. And I was just gonna have a couple of cans of beer and be done with it, but I'm like, no, you know what, I need my margarita, because it's literally is that good. It's like a craving, like that is that taste. It's just so good. Because he makes it with love.
He does.
And
He
it just,
does.
yeah, it's and I didn't steal his PBR jersey he was wearing, because I was like, just gonna crawl across the bar and steal it, but no, I better not do that. Steal from my favorite bartender.
No, that would not be
Yeah.
good. But
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out for a PBR journey.
And we didn't get any food. Yes, we kind of got there, and then it was way busier than we thought. And
Yeah, and then fairly shortly after we got there, the music started, and once you get in that mode of once the band start and then change over and then another band and then change over and then another band, it's kind of hard to get out of that and like actually order food or do all that stuff. So yeah.
And I don't want to miss anything, and
mainly because
So-
you don't want to miss anything, and
I like to be concentrating on the band. And
yes,
I can always eat later. It's
which we
as
didn't,
long as
but
which we didn't, because we were just tired and cold, so we just pretty much went to bed after. we got
yeah,
here,
pretty
but-
much got here unloaded everything, and there you go.
But I mean, it's not like I'm gonna start it. Yeah. So the place is pretty packed. It was a happy but a sad thing. It was good to get a lot of awesome people together.
It was definitely an emotional outpouring. But as I was saying before we started filming, it didn't. It was an emotional outpouring, but it didn't feel sad. It didn't feel morose. Is that the word
I was
I'm
going to
looking
say
for?
morose.
It didn't. It felt like an actual celebration, which is what it was and what it was intended to be. So.
Yeah, I mean, yes, these occasional, fighting back the tears kind of business, but, it was really, I think it was an awesome thing for them to do, to put on, because I mean, this, it's just like, yes, anything can happen to anybody at any time, but it's, but then again, you can't just say, oh, it happened, whatever. You're like, no, this. He was important to a lot of people. They're
and
like, wow.
Yeah, and it's not like he was out of the scene or whatever. He was coming home from playing a show when this happened, so he was still very active. Gorrified just started up again, I think, because I think they were like on hiatus for a while or something.
I think
something like that. And they just kind of got going again, and then this unfortunately happened. So
Yeah, so it's but it did feel like little, and I just fairly kind of recently got into the metal scene because of this guy, and people say, oh, metal family or little metal family, and Lou says, all your family, and it's like it really felt like family thing last night. And granted, I don't know everybody that was there, but you could see they cared.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually,
absolutely.
And so it was good. It was like sad but good. And then the slideshow, we already talked about the slideshow.
Oh, we haven't. Well,
we did.
We kind of talked about
about his brother was saying that that he had this. There was a slideshow that was put together. They were playing on the TV to the side of the bar, and like just all the different pictures of Mark. Like like it was interesting to see him like as a teenager, or at the wedding, or this or that, or just it's like, oh, and you could see it's him, not obviously in all the pictures, but his brother said, just like you said, so much outpouring in that pictures he didn't even know, and
existed,
stories, and just and that's a treasure, that's a gift to have that of him, and to be able to keep that, and it's just. And then they did the honorary, or the patch thing.
Yeah,
because it was put on by
NYDM, which is the what?
You said New
York
Militia?
Death Militia, which is basically, as far as my understanding of it, is basically just an organization, just a group of metalheads that got together and. Like they put on events. They do a lot of like charitable work. They if you're in with them, that you're their brothers. They look. So it's kind of like the same feeling as like a biker club. Also, I don't know if they're actually bikers. I think most of them probably are actually. But it's that kind of feel. It's that kind of brotherhood. And Mark was pledging, and like. From what Greg was saying when he announced this, he was doing really well. I mean, he was like, doing everything he's supposed to do. He was the type of guy that apparently, when he was playing a show, would get there early. He would help out. He would help everybody load in. He would help everybody load out. He would like go around and pick up classes and empties and all that, doing everything he was supposed to do, and not because he had to do it, but just I get the feeling that's just who he was. And
he was like at so many shows, and
I mean,
even though we didn't really talk much,
you always kind of noticed him there.
Always there.
Yeah. but apparently he was like just on the cusp of getting his full membership. So they did have his the backpacks that they would have given him, and they presented that, I think, to Greg, and to put to immortalize somewhere. And he was there. Mark was there.
Yes.
They did have his ashes in the urn.
Yes.
So he was witness to all of it, which is, you know,
Yeah.
just. So yeah.
Yeah, very beautiful urn too. Like, yeah, it's really metal urn for
For a metal guy.
Yeah, for a metal guy. So then, yeah, so Dan, and then also Dan. No, I'm not supposed to call him that anymore, I guess. Dan Manders, and then you said Chris Stark.
Yeah, Dan
I don't
Manders,
really know.
Chris Stark, and they're both NYDM members. And then Natalie Quirk, of course, from Midwest Metal Promotions. They all had a hand in putting this whole thing together. So shout out to them for organizing all this and getting it together, because it again, really well organized, really run really well. I didn't encounter any hiccups or any problems or anything. It was
No.
just very smooth. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure everybody involved wanted it that way because of why they were doing it. So, you know, obviously you don't want, you know, a big ordeal when you're trying to do someone's celebration of life. So, you know.
Yeah, so, and then they did do a raffle for the proceeds to go to the family to help with expenses and such. So it was a music-based one, kind of, like guitars and...
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple guitars. Well, I mean, there's one guitar pack that came with, like, some other merch, some CDs and whatnot. A couple of different CD packs. One from Comatose Records, one from Twin Town Tyrant. And what else?
The Malort packs.
A couple of Malort packs, which I was a little confused about, which came with a bottle of Malort.
We need enlightenment. I don't know if it's like an inside joke or...
Yeah, I don't know where that actually came from. I just found it kind of funny that one of the people that won one of the Malort packs was Mosher Dan, who, as far as I know, doesn't drink. So, so I don't know what he did with the bottle, but who knows? Donate it to someone.
Here, somebody take
Gave it to Josh to put behind the bar. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a taste we haven't tried yet. We've seen a lot.
We've seen it. I think both of us are a little frightened of it.
Even me, and I'm willing to try everything, probably twice. So yeah, and I'm still kind of scared of it because every show we've watched, like How to Drink or anything of the, they are.
Anytime
all
Malort
like,
is brought up, it's like, so.
It's an acquired
Maybe
taste.
maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we'll be
see.
brave enough to.
Yeah.
Um,
And then I
and
actually
then
won.
tattoo gift cards as well.
Yeah.
From oh my God, Lowbrow Saints.
Yeah.
Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective. But let's do yours first.
My first.
So
Okay.
so you
gotta
won.
Do the thing because you're better at showing the things.
So she won the Comatose Music pack, which came with
It's like a little flyer thing. Yeah.
a couple little flyer things.
Yeah.
And all these bands, like one of them, I know the name of. Other way.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really heard of or heard. So you got 3 little flyer guys. And always going the opposite way.
There,
And bend it to
there
do
you
the
go.
to fix the glare. And a sticker from
Sticker. Desecrate the Faith.
Desecrate the Faith. Yep. And then 3 CDs. One from Aborted Fetus, and that's going to be really glary because we didn't take the plastic off. One from
Coat hanger abortion.
that
Plan C.
Plan C.
I see what you did there.
And then, who's that? Execration?
Acceptance of zero. Oh, execration. Yeah.
Acceptance of zero existence. Wow.
Yes.
So I'm just going to guess that these are all probably extreme death metal bands, but
I got a lot of good stuff to
Just a
listen
guess.
to on my way to work and back.
oh yeah, this will be
Yay.
good Monday morning, 5 a.m.
It's been a busy Monday morning, 5 a.m. I'll wait until I get out on the road before I turn it up too loud. I don't
Well, of
want my
course.
poor neighbors to have to.
Oh yeah, no,
You
no,
know.
you don't want to scare the neighbors.
Neighbors. But
And yeah, so she won that, which is awesome.
I don't usually win anything.
And yeah,
Yeah, and then Lou was very nice.
and then so our buddy Lou, who was there with Trent, actually did one of the tattoo gift cards. But he was like, going on and no disrespect, but you were a few drinks in and were not completely incoherent, but you were kind of, and rambling on about,
He's got a list of people who want to see him get a tattoo.
right, and maybe want to get a tattoo with him. I wasn't clear on that.
Something like that.
Like 4 or 5 different people, and basically he was saying, if anybody can use this or whatever, or he was trying to give it to you.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my share of tattoos.
Yeah, she's got
I'm
tattoos.
good for right now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not this photo girl business. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, but
tattoos. I got tattoos.
she's already been inked. I am still a clean slate.
Yeah. And we've been thinking about it and talking about it.
We've been talking about it actually kind of heavy in the last couple
Yeah.
months. Yeah.
We want to do one of those gumball tattoos where you pay so much, like $100 or whatever, and you get a token to do a gumball machine, and you get a little tattoo in a pod.
Yeah.
And that's your
and
tattoo.
then whatever you get, you get. So he wound up giving it to me. Well, you tried to pay him for it,
Well, yeah.
and then he just said, "Well, go give that
said,
to the family."
So yeah. Yeah.
So I got
Yeah.
$150
He's the winner.
from Lowbrow Tattoo Collective,
Such cool
Um,
artwork.
and then some cards, probably. Oh, they're okay
They're for when you make your appointment.
Yeah.
Plus, you can always give them to people and be
Yeah.
like, here.
for
Go
with
get a
the artist
tattoo.
and deposit and date. And then I didn't even see this, so a sticker
Yeah.
too.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Put that on the side of your computer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now
yeah,
we just
so
gotta decide.
so I will take this, and if it's still. Oh, this one actually does have an expiration date.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Because,
Okay.
quick side note, like
Side note.
4 years ago, something like that, at a show that one of Greg's shows that he was doing them at Lee's Liquor Lounge, I actually won a $75 gift certificate.
Yeah.
So if this is still valid, because there's no other
yeah.
thing on it, so if this is still valid, I can combine it with that one
Yeah.
and get something
Yeah, we'll get
a little
pretty
bit more
decent one for that.
more decent. Yeah. So, and if not, I mean,
Well,
we'll fill in the
you're
rest.
right.
That's not a problem. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll contact them and have a little consult and figure all that out. But yeah, so at some point, probably in the next few months,
Yeah.
probably you
Yeah,
might
'cause
see
a
some
lot of
ink on me.
places are booked out.
Oh,
a
I'm
few
sure.
months,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of got to decide kind of what you want, or at least go in and have a consult, or have them draw you up something, or
Or something. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
because they can draw pretty much what you want. Too.
Oh yeah.
If you say,
Yeah, I mean,
like
if
a
I
good tattoo artist should most likely be able to draw you.
if I come in with like a good concept and maybe even like a rough sketch, they'll be able to make it all fucking cool and all that. And I know that, I mean, that's like where Greg gets all his tattoo work done.
Okay.
And he's buddies with them, so and he's always promoting them. They're one of the sponsors on Ritual Madness, so
Cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's interesting turn of events there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lou.
Yeah, Lou, you are the man.
We've been thinking about at least him getting tattoo for
For a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly have I have little sketches of tattoos that I thought of when I was like 16, and just haven't gotten around to actually doing it yet. But now I have no excuse.
Yeah, so that was really neat.
Oh,
And then yes, I don't want to forget that.
so at the end of the night, after Bludgeon was done, and before they did the final drawing, Josh Kern and Josh Kellerman of Semtex did recorded a song in honor of Mark called "Rest in Power." And so when Bludgeon was done, they played the song over the PA and then did the final drawing, and which is a little unfortunate, just because I think a lot of people weren't paying attention to it as much as they probably should have, and I mean they could have just like blasted it, and that probably would have been more effective. But I think they were trying. I think they were trying to like keep it down a little bit. But I dug it. I thought it was really good, and I told Kellerman that afterwards. I'm like, this is thrash metal perfection. Like it's everything you want in a thrash metal song. And on top of the subject matter and what is written about and written for, I mean, it's just, and I don't know when exactly they're going to be releasing it. I think I was talking to him and he said, they're going to be releasing it at some point. They're going to be doing physical CDs as well with Mark's picture on them and that whole thing. So, so as soon as those are available or whatnot, we will let you know. Because and then I'm sure all that money will go to the family and all that. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I did feel like I couldn't quite hear it as I wanted to be able to hear it, better. It did, thrash metal, exemplary, just. Yeah, it was good. I need to hear it, like actually hear it, where I can listen and hear all the words. So, but it's just it's a wonderful little collaboration to have that.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
for sure.
Yeah. So so that's on the list of listening.
For sure.
So, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for being what it was for. It was a very wonderful night. I mean,
just
wow. You've got to have a going away party, I guess.
That's the way to do it. Absolutely.
One heck of a going away party. So, and good people. Not like I say all the time. People think, oh, metal. Oh, there's a bunch of jerks, and they're gonna fight, and they're just bad,
and they're all alcoholics and drug addicts.
Yeah. Well, not any more than any other.
Not any more than anybody else.
Yeah.
But I mean, the metal community, especially here, as far as I can tell, and some of the people might have different opinions, but as far as I've seen, really kind of look out for each other, and really, embrace you when you need to be embraced.
Yeah, it was. Good job, metal family.
Yeah. So. So yeah,
we talked a lot.
We talked a lot.
You get us together, and it just happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Rest of the year, I mean, I'm sure we have other shows to go to. Probably.
There's something on the 16th or.
I believe.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know if it's Friday or Saturday, but it's the Rumors, Rebel Queens, and Uncle Daddy at Mortimer's.
Okay, that's 16th is a Friday. Yeah, there's a lot of shows.
Yeah,
guys,
there's a lot of shows,
um,
especially as we get to New Year's. There's a
Yeah.
ton of
What
stuff
New Year's
going on
shows?
New Year's.
There's take your pick. There's ton. Yeah.
But what else? For content wise for this channel, for my 91 subscribers, thank you very much.
Hi, Stephanie. She's subscribed, so.
What else are we thinking of? I was talking about maybe starting doing like some album reviews, which I think would be kind of cool, kind of fun.
Yeah.
In addition to show reviews, we could do movie reviews, but there are so many people that do.
I like
movie
music reviews. I
Yeah,
think that's
music reviews
better.
I think are better, and more in line in kind of what I'm doing.
Unless
with-
we get a movie that we,
And I mean,
really
we
have
could
to.
do documentary reviews.
Yeah, well, you would be
Kinda-
better at that.
kinda,
I'll just sit
sorta.
here and because you're good at knowing all that stuff. I wouldn't know if they're telling me the wrong stuff or not because
Mm-hmm.
I ask you a million questions and then watch the documentary.
This is true.
So,
This is true.
So I'm learning. I'm not a judge of anything.
Yeah, we're slowly making our way through. We're through what, episode 1 of Anthology, Beatles
Yeah, we gotta
Anthology.
watch the shows.
We could do that tomorrow, actually.
Oh yeah.
We
Oh
could
yeah.
do
Yep.
a couple
Sunday,
more
Sunday
episodes.
movies.
Sunday fun day.
Sunday. Monday. Watch some more Wednesday.
Oh, we could. Wednesday
Oh,
too.
well, let's do the Beatles first though, because
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so music.
And then what
album
else?
reviews.
Do album reviews. I had something else in my head. Oh, for anybody, if there's any interest, I was going to throw this out on Facebook too, because I'm not sure exactly where my views come from. If they come from Facebook or come from here, I know, depending on what I title things and what I kind of tag, it some of my videos show up on people's like
Feeds.
recommended the feeds and stuff.
Well, I know if I watch on Facebook and I'm not logged into my YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it counts.
As a view.
I can't. Well, I don't know if it counts as a viewer or not. And I know I can't like or comment anything because it wants me to log in.
Oh,
So
I
then
suppose,
I
yeah.
gotta go to the YouTube and
And
then
do the thing, yeah.
do whatever I need to do there. So.
But that being said, especially the last video I did, I edited heavily. I probably cut about 40 minutes out. So, in the comments, for people that have gotten this far in this video, would there be any interest in if I started a Patreon? And I'd keep it cheap. I mean, I'd do whatever the minimum you can do is. I don't know if you can do free Patreons or maybe like $1 a month or whatever.
Maybe.
Like keep it, like obviously wouldn't be
Yeah.
income stimulus at all.
It's not worth the money.
But it'd just be
or it's not
a
full.
place where if there was interest in seeing our full
Yeah.
reviews with all the tangents and all the side stories and
Lots of tangents.
all of that. If there'd be any interest in that, let me know. Because, I could do that.
Yeah. Bloopers? I don't know.
Bloopers,
Could be some I don't know.
and then we could do, we could start doing content for that too. I mean, we could
Oh.
do, I don't know what we'd do, but
Well,
I don't know. We could do, just have chats, just
yeah.
do like, you can do like Patreon polls and kind of like, what do you want us here to talk
Oh.
about for a half hour?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and, just do that. I don't know.
Sure.
So yeah, if there's any interest in that, let me know. Comment down below and we
Yeah.
can set that up, and another fun thing to.
He's made me do this camera thing. I'm in it with both feet. So, I mean.
Well, it started out you not wanting to do it to you making sure we're doing it right and taking notes and,
Yeah,
and
well,
all this
notes,
other stuff,
yes.
and so yeah,
So, 'cause I'm a
you're
nerd.
you're in it whether you want to be or not. So.
Only for you. Okay, no sappy stuff. All right.
No happy stuff. Stern.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's all we got. I might do another round of shots. You need to get through the holidays. But
Tell him.
but
Shots.
but we're gonna do them all together.
Shots,
So we'll
shots,
probably have
shots.
to do multiple
Okay.
over a couple weekends,
That sounds like a fun weekend.
and then we'll just do them every day. I'll put them out every day.
Okay.
Yeah. So, or maybe we could do drink review. I don't know. We'll figure something out because
Yeah.
Now that I've pulled you into this whole thing, we can expand on where we want to go with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was long-winded and
Hey, we're still under an hour though.
We're
So-
well, I still have the clips to
Oh,
put
crap.
in, so we're gonna be, and depending on how much of this I cut out, so
Yeah. Fair
my
enough.
editing is getting a little bit better. But yeah, so that's all we got. So see you later.
You did.
All the usual stuff. Don't be a dick. Support all your locals. Just be kind because there's no reason not to be. So don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Don't. Uber exists for a reason.
Or friends.
Or
family,
friends, or
anybody.
Lyft, or taxi, or
Yeah. I mean, worst to worst, sleep in your freaking back seat. Although they say that legally that's, no.
that's a gray area.
But I mean, it's better.
It's
than
better than driving.
now.
It's better than
know.
driving. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, but don't sleep in your car with your car running, because
Yeah, you don't want to
we've
do that.
actually had family friend die from doing that. Yeah, so don't do that. But yeah, so whatever you gotta do, but yeah, don't
Yeah.
drink and drive.